Dzień dobry Państwu, wielka chwila, wielki moment. Yrsa Sigurðardóttir po raz kolejny gościnią Smak Książki.pl. Dziś porozmawiamy o najnowszej książce Konsekwencje i rzeczywiście tych konsekwencji w najnowszym kryminale jest sporo. Jest też sporo, nie będę już zdradzał, ale dzieją się rzeczy niesamowite i uważajcie tylko na białe skody. Tyle Państwu powiem. Jest też o ruchach antyszczepionkowych, jest o surogatkach. Także kryminał bardzo zaangażowany społecznie z cyklu na przykład Henninga Mankella, którego znamy i pamiętamy, którego książki poruszały szwedzkie społeczeństwo. No i porozmawiamy sobie o różnych, różnistych rzeczach. Hello Yrsa, nice to see you again in Poland.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you too.
Chciałbym Cię zapytać o rzeczy ważne, które tutaj się w tej książce dzieją. Przede wszystkim o ruch antyszczepionkowy na Islandii. Tutaj Ty nie mówisz o ruchu antyszczepionkowym covidowym, ale innym. Pytanie, jak duży jest to ruch?
Not really, not in Iceland. This was written before COVID. I didn't know about COVID. So, but there are always people who are strange about this, and they can cause harm, even though there are not many. It doesn't take many to make it. If you just meet the wrong person carrying a disease and if you are in some ways not very healthy, then this can have a drastic effect.
Tak sobie wyobraziłem, że w Polsce, która jest o wiele większa od Islandii, byłoby bardzo trudne, żeby jeden mężczyzna zaczął tropić osoby, które nie są zaszczepione, a na Islandii chyba jest to o wiele łatwiejsze.
Yeah, they have like it's a government controlled list. So there is like a database of who has gotten what vaccine. Yeah. So, I mean, I cannot access it. I could not go and see who is vaccinated, but authorities can. If they go through the proper channels, yeah.
Bardzo mówiłem o tym na wstępie do naszej rozmowy, że też ważne jest i lepiej czyta się książki, które są w jakiś sposób zaangażowane społecznie, jak na przykład książki Henninga Mankella. Psy szczekają, dog is barking, so welcome in Poland.
Yeah, it's I don't know, there are always things that are being discussed, and every time I write a book, I try to think like, what is it in society right now that could be better? And because it's not perfect, then it could lead to something horrible. So I take a bad situation and I inject it with steroids and make it horrible. So yeah. So it's a good way of getting people to think. I do not stand on a soapbox and tell people what to think, but I do maybe bring on the sides of such discussions, I guess, yeah. Society problems, yeah.
Tak, rzeczywiście najlepiej jak książka bawi i uczy, ale według mnie takim głównym problemem w Twojej książce jest problem surogactwa. To jest poważny problem na Islandii.
When I was writing it was being discussed by the parliament to allow surrogacy for like your sister or your cousin or friend or something. And for me, that's really the worst way to go. Because it puts a lot of pressure on a woman who maybe has a sister that cannot have a baby. And my sister, for example, has 8 kids. And let's say she could not have kids. Then if this law would have passed, then would I have had to carry for her 8 kids? You know, I think it's better if it's not a relation. And then you see the child growing up maybe in a manner that you don't like, you know, and so surrogacy, I'm not against it, but I think with all the children in the world that need parents, that it's really not needed, I think.
Jaki był finał tej historii?
It didn't pass, yeah. So it's still very illegal. But there are ways around it, like I describe in the book. So the people that want to get surrogacy, they do it by tricks, yeah.
Tak, no i właśnie te triki tutaj są w tej książce dosyć ciekawie opisane.
People will also go abroad, have a surrogacy and bring the baby back, and that's caused lots of problems and then they just pretend that they had the baby abroad. So there are ways, but I think, you know, do you want, people that go for surrogacy want a baby, but do you want a baby or do you want a child? If you want a child, because a baby doesn't stay a baby for very long, then you should adopt from places where children need parents, I think. That's my opinion.
W takich sytuacjach jest też niebezpieczeństwo, że kobieta, która urodzi to dziecko, po prostu w pewnym momencie się rozmyśli i już po urodzeniu tego dziecka nie odda.
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, at least my experience is that when you carry a baby, you make connections to the baby, and I could not see myself having a baby and then giving it away. I don't think that's a good. So there are instances where the mother just does not want to give the baby up. Yeah.
Kobieta, która w twojej książce jest tą surogatką, mówi takie zdanie, że grzechy dzieciństwa przemijają z czasem. Ty się z tym zgadzasz?
I guess so. I guess if I put it there, then at least that character thought so. Yeah, but yes, there are things that you forget, of course. Yeah, I don't remember very much. Only the big things, you know. Yeah.
An example?
I dropped something on my toe, like a big bucket of blocks to build with, and the nail fell off. I remember that very good. That's my earliest memory. I guess I was 3.
Chciałbym cię jeszcze spytać o rzecz niezwiązaną z książką. Znaczy, gdy byłem na Islandii, no to jest tam bardzo dużo Polaków, o relacje Polaków i Islandczyków.
My grandson, his best friend is from Poland, and yeah, I think maybe if you don't learn the language, it would be difficult to like socially interact as a friend. But yes, I mean, we're very happy that people from Poland are willing to move to Iceland, and it seems that they have a better chance of learning the language because Polish is more difficult than Icelandic. So it's so for you Icelandic is easy, but for most countries it's hard. So I think yeah, and there are many places around the countryside where you know, not a majority, but a big portion of the kids in school are Polish or of Polish origin. And, you know, they grow up in Iceland, they become Icelandic, Polish, Icelandic, you know. It's good.
I don't think that Polish is easier than Icelandic.
I think it is actually, yes. It's just because you know Polish. For me, Polish is super hard, but it has the same difficult grammar, and yours is more difficult, so you understand the inflections of the nouns and so on, which some countries don't.
Trudno jest osadzić fabułę kryminału w kraju, który ma niecałe 400 000 osób i można by powiedzieć, że wszyscy się znają.
It does have limitations that, for example, I could not write about like a serial killer, like an American serial killer, because it's so small that the first murder the second murder, nobody can go missing without it being noticed. So there are things you can't write about, but then there are also things that can be used, and that is the smallness of society, and the connections between people are very short. So you try to use the stuff that you can, and try not to think about the stuff that you can't.